Thanks, Atlas. I'm joined by Crepo and Pobelter after a clean 3-0 sweep there.
Clean.
3-0, right? Pobelter, it's got to feel good to have re-secured that spot in the LCS.
It does feel really good, actually.
Crepo, do you feel like this series in particular adequately represented EG's power or ability to play the game, as by the end of the split, you guys had really turned things around. You were performing well. Who knows, if there were a couple more weeks added on to the end of the split, you might have even made it to the playoffs. So do you feel like the performance that EG put up in this series represents your guys' ability to play the game?
It's really weird because we lost every scrim leading into playoffs, into the last week of Super Week, and then suddenly we performed 4-0, so that was a bit of a shift. Now we only had like 1 week practice right now because of visa issues, and I think we played relatively well, but it was sloppy, especially game 2. We had such a big lead that it almost became like solo QS, like you ran out of towers to push, so you want your deep vision so desperately. So I faced it like twice. People were dying randomly all over the map, but at least we keep getting towers every time somebody died, and I like that we're doing that. We're playing objective based, and yeah, and Pope carried his game. Like every time he just had like this mad lead in mid lane, and even if side lanes were struggling or counter ganks happened, doesn't matter. Whatever, like his lead, we would transition into bot lane, top lane, jungle. And that wins us every game.
It was something that we were talking about a lot on the analyst desk during the games, was the fact that actually in the first game you guys didn't give up a single turret. So you had cleared 11 turrets to their 0.
Yeah.
Second game you did give up a few because you had fallen behind a little bit early. But even with that early gold deficit, the roams bottom, as you said, really snowballed into the late game. So my question to you is, do you feel like it kind of devolved into that solo queue-esque kind of style because of the team that you were up against, given the fact that they brought in 2 new people and didn't maybe have the time to synergize and actually, face up against you as a full squad?
I wouldn't really say it's because of that. I think we just made some mistakes. Like we regressed a little since the Super Week because we hadn't been practicing throughout that entire time.
And then in the final game, of course, I have to ask, anytime someone kind of throws a slightly out there pick out, when the Riven came through in the end, how does that change your play style? Does that throw you off kilter at all, or you just say, you know what, it's a thing, it's on the field, let's just play as if it's any other champion?
I mean, we're so confident in Tyson's ability to play in Italy, even if he falls behind early. I think we got a little too greedy and ended up giving the Riven too many kills. But, I mean, when it comes down to fights, we still have exhaust. We knew how to play our fights. We basically said in advance, let him come to us, but tidal wave will counter. Pobelter will just go in, kill one of them immediately as Talon, and then we try and kite them out, and that's what happened in a lot of fights. I'm really happy we didn't ever end up chasing into the Ziggs. We always knew when we had to stop chasing and turn for a tower or an objective. It just took a little longer than we would have liked. That's why we weren't all celebrating really hard because it's like, yeah, we got our jobs in the LCS, but we would have rather played playoffs than relegations. But we're actually really happy that we 3-0 this series.
Understood. Since we are on the topic of this most recent game, Crepo, we actually have a replay that we'd like to pull up for you. If you don't mind, we're going to pull it up in a second now. Just go ahead and walk us through it.
I see, like, I don't know. I wanted to watch this replay. I want to know what aggro's Baron. Do I aggro Baron?
I think it's an Italy spear.
No, it's me. I was on auto walk on auto attack, and I was like, damn, is this Baron attacking? Yeah, it is. So okay, I got heal, and then, nope.
Well played.
See, this is why you can't be happy with a victory if you do stuff like this. So kids, turn off auto attack toggle when you're walking into the Baron pit, or you end up like me on this replay.
That's actually funny, though. Oh, of course. We do our best to build you guys up and then bring you back down.
Exactly.
Of course. Pobelter, I want to take a look at your champion picks, because in the final game there, Coast decided to ban out 3 mid laners. Mm-hmm. But across all 3 games, you played 3 different champions. You played Ahri, Syndra, and Talon. I know you also have Yasuo in your pool, Syndra Zed in your pool, things like that. So do you feel like you're at the point in your career where you're confident on enough champions that it's going to render any team pretty much ineffective in terms of banning against you?
Yeah, I wasn't really phased by the triple mid ban last game, because I still had like 3 or 4 champions that I'm still really comfortable on and could play at a high level.
And so, Crepo, what does that do for a team? You kind of already talked about how his play in the mid lane was helpful, but even when you just look at champion select, when members of your team have that capability.
If you have a couple combos that you want to run and they basically annihilate some key figures in every combo, that's a lot harder to deal with in the pick and ban process than actually just banning out one person. Because at an LCS level, most people barring maybe junglers because that meta is like so tiny. There's maybe only like 3 or 4 picks available. Targeting target bans at one player is really, really rough. However, if you have like different strategies that you like to run and they just take like one key piece out of it, say they take a Zillion out for your one comp, your Zed for the other one, then you might struggle. But we knew Pobelder had a lot of champions, and worst case, we just put him on a wave clear mid, and then we take
Ziggs.
open the Ziggs
Ori,
exactly.
yeah.
Orianna. There's still plenty to come, so we were on two-phase by it.
All right, and then of course I have to ask, looking forward, to 2015, things like that. What's up for this EG squad?
I have no clue. I don't think we've planned it out that far yet. I think we're gonna, just take a break, enjoy the off season while we watch Worlds, and then figure out what to do from there.
Okay, one final note. Krupp, I'm going to give you the opportunity to say whatever you need to your fans, the viewers at home.
I don't always die to Baron like that. Please trust me. But thank you.
Belter, I was going to say, do you want to say something a little bit more eloquent than that?
Thank you for all the fans that watched the stream and came out to the LCS studio to support us. It means a lot. Even though we placed 7th in the split, it's really nice to have that sort of support, so thank you.
Well, it was really a fantastic series and showing by you guys, so I have to congratulate you once again on the 3-0 victory and re-qualifying. And we're going to throw it right back to Atlas and Spawn.